It's beginning to drizzle a bit. Back-to-back hat-tricks in this World Cup for Pat Cummins. See the ground staff just getting ready, just in case. Look at the passing shot. Oh, massive! He's picked the bones out of that. That's the biggest six. It's on the roof. Pan, pan, pan is the noise.
Magnificent, absolutely magnificent. Once again, shuffling towards the off stump. Always intending to hit the ball to the onside because the offside's packed. What a shot.
206 for Rohit Sharma in T20 internationals. First player to do so, landing on the roof. And as we speak, the rain just picks up, the cover's coming off. Rohit Sharma will be disappointed because he was looking in magnificent touch. 41 of just 14. It looks as if it's a passing shot because players just keeping an eye on the weather as well.
It's just coming down a little bit heavier now. There's moments like that where you don't want to leave the field. Rohit Sharma on fire. As you said, Ravi, 41 off 14. 5 sixes already. The Indian captain. Big covers going down. As you said, there was a lot of rain overnight, a lot of heavy rain this morning. Which I think led to that little bit of moisture being on the top of the wicket when we first arrived at the ground. Let's hope this blows in and blows out reasonably quickly.
Well, that's been the forecast today. Scattered showers. We had it since the morning as well. It was raining first up this morning, then a break for a couple of hours. And some terrific batting from Rohit Sharma.
To over cover, then over mid-on, and then this again over long on. This one he was looking to hit somewhere over the infield. But it went over third man. This is the longest and probably the sweetest.
Across all international cricket, he's hit more sixes against Australia than anyone else. 129 in total. So you see the covers being put on because now the sun has come out as well. The rain has stopped, the covers coming off quite immediately. As expected, a scattered shower. What batting from Rohit Sharma, what power and timing in those 5 sixes. Some big ones on the onside. This one a little lucky. This the biggest.
I'm not sure how many times Pat Cummins has been slog swept in his career, but that was a slog sweep from Rohit Sharma. They started with a deep square leg and a long on. Rohit Sharma premeditated that they were going to bowl straight. He was sitting there waiting for it. It was a little bit wide, but he was down on one knee and hitting it a mile over mid-wicket.
So the good news is the covers are coming off. India playing the unchanged side from the last game. See the crowd, they'll be happy. The rain's given way to sunshine. The covers have come off quickly. The umpires will be out there soon as well. Australia lost the last game against Afghanistan, where Glenn Maxwell was the top scorer, so that from Australia's point of view was good that he was back amongst the runs. A little while earlier he was speaking to Archer.
Glenn Maxwell alongside us. Maxie, it's been a peculiar tournament this for Australia. You've been coasting, not a problem in the world. One game and suddenly playing for survival. Does that affect the way you think about the game, you plan for the game?
Oh, you sort of get into these stages of the tournament and you sort of think about finals, and this sort of feels like a bit of a quarter-final to us, so it's no, I suppose, different to the positions that we've been in the past, and we know that these games can bring the best out of us.
Does it affect your approach, does it?
Not really. It's been nice. I feel like I've sort of built my way into the tournament, and hopefully peaking at the right time, and looking forward to today.
The travel hasn't been easy after your last game. You rested enough?
Yeah, it's obviously been an interesting schedule. I think an 8:30 p.m. game into early morning travel and long travel day, and then a morning game here today. But we're not using that as an excuse. We're going to come out here and hopefully be firing today.
India and Australia play each other so often now. You know each other so well, don't you? I mean, how do you prepare then? Just know each other so well.
Yeah, well, I think that's the nice thing about today. There's so much familiarity between the two sides, and it sort of comes down to who can make the most of the big moments in the game. And we feel like we're well equipped. We've played here a couple of times. We're looking forward to coming out here and giving our best.
A day game, does it make any difference?
I'm not too sure, to be honest. I haven't really seen a whole lot here. But yeah, it looks like a pretty good wicket from what I've heard, and hopefully we can go out and do the job.
Cheers, Max. Hope it goes well.
Cheers, thank you.
So the umpire's just waiting. They'll just get the rope around the ground so that they can just try and dry out the outfield as much as possible. Every time the ball goes out there, it'll get wet. There's a quick shot. It's given away to some good sunshine. And the crowd here deserves that, because come from all parts of the globe. A lot of them from the United States and watch this contest. And Australians too. Now, as far as the Indian fans are concerned, they always bring a lot of colour to the contest. So play will resume shortly. 43 for 1. Losing Kohli without scoring, and then a blast from the Indian captain Rohit Sharma. Just took to the Australian attack already. Inside 4 overs, he's hit 5 sixes. Out come the two Richards, Illingworth and Kettleborough. And from the players' point of view also, they'll be happy. It's not a break, too long a break. Australia also would want to come out quite immediately, because they'd like to correct things. They know this game can change pretty quickly. This is how Rohit Sharma started, and then Kohli was dismissed. Good bouncer. Some lovely shots over extra cover, clearing the rope. Then spare the onside as well. A couple of big sixes in that area. So the players are going to come out, and 5-minute break, Ricky. There, what do you think the Australians would have been discussing? I know it's a short time. They've got to gather their thoughts and come out thinking afresh.
Yeah, absolutely. A little bit of time to regroup, to have a think about the lengths that they're bowling to Rohit Sharma more than anything else. If you look at most of those boundaries, right, they've all been very, very full deliveries, and the one wicket that's been taken so far has been from using the short ball. Might think about just dragging that length back a little bit, using the wicket, maybe cross-seam deliveries if there's any moisture in the wicket at all. Normally you expose the moisture by that seam just gripping in the surface a little bit. Done a good job with Rishabh Pant. He hasn't got away. He's 1 from 6. They've got to find a way to stop this boundary flow from the Indian captain. Like I said, he wouldn't have wanted to go off. Rohit Sharma had everything going his way. Now he's going to come out and potentially start again. Always harder, I think, for batsmen to start again. Your momentum has been interrupted like that. And a good man for Australia to have as well, Pat Cummins. Ball in hand. The first ball was dispatched a long way over wicket for a big 6. Coming off back-to-back hat-tricks in this tournament. Who would have thought? 149 games without one. And then 2 in a row.
seeing the Australians, they seemed a little stiff this morning in those early overs. They had a lot of travelling to do, back-to-back games. Mitch Marsh saying they finished a night game and then had to take a flight early morning, come in, another day game immediately. Good opportunity to correct things here if they get off to a good start. So here goes Cummins. And straight away pulling it back. That's more the length they'll look to try and bowl henceforth, especially to Rohit Sharma. Back off the length, nipping it back. This is the last hat-trick for Pat Cummins. Oh, that's gone like a tracer bullet into the fence. It's sped off the surface.
Well, every time the ball's pitched up, he's just getting into his stride and powering it away. Just a little bit wide. What the Australians are looking to do is get it wide, not in the arc. But this one was half volley outside the off stump, wide as well. Have a look at that. It's easy for Rohit Sharma.
It was a man in a sweeper position, yet no chance as the ball raced away.
That's better. That's a better length. It's a length that we are accustomed to seeing Pat Cummins bowl. And this one just did look like it just held in the surface a little bit. Bit of a wobble seam. It's a good length though. It's not a stand hit ball that he's actually been able to put away so far. Just catches the seam and leaves the right-hander. Could have locked themselves in there. If he's going to hit big shots, make him hit good balls for boundaries. Don't give him anything easy.
Down the track. Luck favouring the brave here. 50 comes up for India. So he started with a slower delivery. It's been all pace after that from Cummins.
Well, we've seen that the fielders are in the 30-meter circle at mid-off and mid-on, so looking to take advantage of that. Instead of the middle of the bat, it's gone off the edge, but there is no third man, and therefore another boundary.
So he takes a single, another very good over for India. 15 coming off it after 5. It's 52 for 1. And Rohit Sharma has reached 50 of just 19. A sparkling innings this. In the final Super 8 clash. And in a game that's a must-win for Australia. 52 for 1.
Just 19 balls for Rohit Sharma's 50. Next quickest, Aaron Jones, 22. That was the first game, USA versus Canada. So Hazelwood with his third. He's the one who's kept things relatively quiet. Dinesh Karthik's alongside me, so is Aaron Finch. It's sensational. When was the last time you saw a scoreboard in a big T20 international? One batter's 50 and the total's 52.
Yeah, it's been a remarkable innings, and he's picked his targets really well. He's hit with the wind. Every time he's looked to attack leg side, it's been with the wind. A couple of beautiful shots to get him underway over the offside off Mitchell Starc as well. Big games, you need your best players to stand up, and Rohit Sharma's certainly been that man for India. 50 off just 20 deliveries.
Biggest 50 made against Australia in all T20 World Cups. What are the others going to do? Rishabh Pant. With Rishabh Pant is never too far away from audacity.
Good morning from St. Lucia. Oh, what a start it's been by Rohit Sharma. He's been on fire. And then there is Rishabh Pant on the other side, who's been quiet, just trying to find the single to give strike to Rohit Sharma. But this one, something that we've seen a lot of over the years that he does against fast bowlers. He just played one against USA to finish the game off.
He's one of 7, by the way, so there's 2 different cricket matches on at the moment.
Won't stay that way for much longer with Rishabh Pant at the crease. He's somebody who loves to get on with it, and the left-hander is hitting with the breeze on this occasion. That's why he's looking to go leg side big against Hazlewood, but his length has been so impeccable so far. This hasn't allowed width, he hasn't allowed a length that you can just stand and deliver through the line.
One other reason why this has been a spectacular innings from Rohit Sharma. Finch, you did the pitch report, DK, you were down there, both of you thought he was a little soft. So it wouldn't have been as easy to bat in the early overs.
Yeah, and we've seen a few balls from Pat Cummins and Josh Hazlewood just bounce a little bit extra, just staying in the surface a bit longer.
A bit of a hike. It's his day today.
He's played Hazlewood cleverly so far, where he isn't taking too many chances, but this time he's fancying his arm, knowing that it's coming to the end of the power play. Speaking back on Rishabh Pant, even against Bangladesh, he started quietly until he got that Mustafizur over, which was the 11th over of the game. He got a couple of boundaries, a 6, and then he got going. Must be waiting for that moment where he targets one bowler, and then he gets that momentum that he requires.
The wind's coming over his shoulder at the moment from third man. And that's where he's hitting it with the wind behind him. First bounce for 4. Sometimes all you need is a shot. One shot to get away, to unlock yourself.
That's a really good shot, this from Rishabh Pant. Short ball, and Hazlewood does bowl a heavy ball. To be able to go on the front foot and just pull it over mid-on, mid-wicket gap, it's quite an effort. The intent is there. Indians have come out firing.
He's got the gap. No, he hasn't. It's well stopped. Rishabh Pant briefly thought of a second. It wasn't to be. Power play is done. It's 60 for 1.
See what Rishabh Pant's trying to do with third inside.
He's got the gap. No, he hasn't. It's well stopped. Rishabh Pant briefly thought of a second. It wasn't to be. Power play is done. It's 60 for 1.
एक परफ्यूम स्प्रे देना मुझे भी डिस्काउंट के बाद 199
By the circle, David Warner, great effort to get down.
Add to what you said about Yuvraj Singh's 50. In Durban it was. What an innings to eclipse that.
Lands the blow straight away against Zampa. That boundary is unlocked, Rishabh Pant. Lovely use of the feet. Is very, very light on his feet.
It's great intent from Rishabh Pant. They know they can't afford to let Adam Zampa settle into his spell. Been Australia's best bowler for quite a few years now. He says, I'm going to take you on first up. The left-hander with the ball turning in. He's got the odds in his favour. It's a great strike down the ground.
And they have come out firing on the best batting surface at this year's T20 World Cup.
always a pattern to certain players. Rishabh Pant loves stepping out and hoiking leg spinners over mid-on and mid-wicket. We saw that against Rishad Hussain in the Bangladesh game. Here it's Adam Zampa. Adam Zampa, interestingly, has had a very good hold over India in bilaterals. Whereas in World Cups, it's been the other way around. India has found a way to tackle him in a smart way.
Oh, that's good. Zippy, keeper.
Oh, it's a bit of yes and no, but there was so much time.
Nice hit.
So much time. Zampa himself had to run across to short mid-wicket. I think it's a clever single, actually. You'd like to have Rishabh Pant playing Zampa more often.
Yeah, absolutely, it would. What really surprised me when I was reading all the numbers was Rishabh Pant's strike rate of just 122 against Adam Zampa. I always think that the ball turning back in, guys will have a higher strike rate, but you compare that with Rohit Sharma, who's up around 150 against Zampa. So this will be a great battle.
There is support in the deep now. The power play is done.
Unlike a lot of spinners going around in world cricket, a lot of bowlers err on the shorter side, but Zampa, on the other hand, always errs on the fuller side. You see him get hit for sixes of step hits, as they call it, than the short ball. See the previous one really full as well. Australia have set clever fields, and the fielding has been very good so far.
Connects beautifully, like everything that's come out of his bat today. It is one giant sweet spot, that cricket bat.
Well, if you're a Rohit Sharma fan, and I'm sure there are millions of them, this is the day that Rohit Sharma is firing. There's a rain break, hasn't stopped him, he's just kept going. A slog sweep this time. Get the feeling it's a bit of payback time, Finchy, to what happened a few months ago.
Yeah, that's a great shot. We won't talk about that. DK will be on air with Australia holding a couple of ICC titles over India. But that just allows Rohit Sharma to free his arms. It's just wide enough. One of Zampa's great strengths is his ability to hit the stumps, particularly off stump against the right-handers. Make them take a risk off the stumps. If you miss, I'll hit. It's just a touch wide. I understand what Zampa's doing there. He wants to get out of the arc to the leg side, which is with the breeze. Rohit Sharma's up to the challenge today.
15 of this over already.
Oh, that's good.
Add another. Well, into the pads, but he still sneaks a single. 16 of it. It's 76 for 1. Doesn't matter which way it's turning. He's just reading it so well. Meters. Australia have been thrown a bit into disarray. Two key bowlers have been expensive today. Zampa, such an important cog in the wheel. That's why this game is so important. We've looked at this game from Australia's point of view, and Australia desperately need to win, get those 4 points and keep Afghanistan at bay. It's a big game for India too, because India need to top the table. You go to Guyana and you get a rained-off day in Guyana. There's 4 hours to make up there, but still, you get a rained-off game in Guyana. The team that tops the table then goes through to the final. So you do want to go to Guyana as the #1 team in the group and play #2 from the other group. So there's a lot riding on this game. Afghanistan are watching this, as indeed Australia will. Afghanistan after this game. Stoinis comes in. He's had a wonderful tournament.
Yeah, absolutely, with the bat and ball. 8 wickets there, third highest wicket taker for Australia after Zampa and Cummins. Been a good tournament for Stoinis with how he's gone about. He's just carried forward his form. Fast bowlers. We're speaking about how they came in with good plans. And the first wicket to fall, and the only wicket so far, is Virat Kohli. If you do remember, something similar happened a few months ago. Mitchell Marsh just dropped one in Chennai. And today, something very similar, the extra bounce of Hazelwood. As we say, the heavy ball is what he bowls, and that sometimes makes it hard to play the pull shot.
4 more. At the moment, Rohit Sharma has got only one thing in his mind. Do I hit it for 4? Do I hit it for 6? It's a very pleasant dilemma to have.
We speak about Rohit Sharma and pull shot. It's a marriage made in heaven that they've loved each other for a long, long time now. It's been one of his strongest suits in playing the sport, and he continues.
he decided before the 50 over that this is how India would play in white ball cricket. He said, I'll lead the way, I'll show the way, I will play in a certain manner, in the manner that I'm demanding of everybody else. And it's come off in dramatic style today. This one connects dramatically. The sound of the bat, it doesn't matter whether you're hitting into the breeze or anywhere. Oh, at the moment, Rohit Sharma hit the ball anywhere.
Yeah, like you said, Harsha, the sound off the bat. It's a loud crack. Rohit Sharma in amazing form today. It was predictable from Stoinis with Rohit stepping out the ball before and hoiking to the leg side. This time he decides to hang back in the crease. Clears that front leg. He's only got one thing in his mind. He's not worried about the breeze. It's only 66 metres out that side.
Now on, inside out. This is sheer class. We've seen Rohit Sharma play the pull shot so many times. But if you want to see class written all over a shot on a cricket ground, this is the shot to watch.
Oh my God, I've seen a few shots in this World Cup. For me, this is definitely the best shot so far. He made it look too easy. It's the free-flowing rhythm from the bat coming through, hands going nicely through the ball. Marcus Stoinis, you haven't done too badly there. Bad luck. You're bowling to a firing Rohit Sharma here. Wow, that was great to watch.
More of the story is they'll come back with 2. Oh no, they'll stay with 1. Just before you go into bat, have a quiet word and a joke with Aaron Finch, which is what Rohit Sharma did this morning.
It's just amazing batting. He's reading the play exceptionally well. What you're looking to do as a batter is understand what the bowler's trying to do, understand what his plans are and how you can best combat that. And Rohit showed his full range of class in this over in particular. Hangs back and looks to hit leg side, then he uses his feet down the wicket. Then he goes deep in the crease because he knows what Marcus Stoinis is going to do. You've got to get him off strike any chance you can get.
Oh, this could be danger. And it is for Rishabh Pant. Hazelwood comes under, takes the catch. Australia get one more. Not the one they wanted, but they'll be very happy with the Pant wicket.
Rishabh Pant just looking to knock it round on the leg side. Just when he started getting momentum in this innings, looks to play one off the stumps, gets the leading edge, the bounce of St. Lucia, or rather probably the stackiness of the pitch that Finch and Harsha Bhogle were speaking about. Simple catch. Hazelwood doesn't miss many. India lose their second wicket. Rishabh Pant goes for 15. India 93 for 2.
What a batter to come in at this stage in the innings. All the people who've played scored 1,000 runs in T20 internationals. Nobody has scored runs quicker than Surya Kumar Yadav, striking at 168. An onslaught at the other end. Rohit Sharma, 8-6 is the most by a player in a match against Australia at T20 World Cups.
All you folks watching, I can tell you Harsha Bhogle prepares about half an hour to 40 minutes in trying to understand the ground dimensions. He always is baffled by how big the grounds are, and plus the wind direction, gets everything, makes sure that the batters should be looking to it with the wind, and Rohit Sharma does everything that Harsha Bhogle says he shouldn't be doing.
Oh, yes, City ball.
But actually, Finchie made the valid point that with the boundaries not being the biggest in the world, I don't think they care that much.
No, they certainly don't. Rishabh Pant just trying to tuck it into the leg side. It wasn't a shot that he's looking to go over mid-wicket. He's just looking to get it up over square leg, use the wind to his advantage. But this is a battle that I'm really looking forward to. Zampa to Surya Kumar Yadav. This guy's a wonderful player, and like you said, Harsha, strike rate through the roof, best that we've seen. And started off with a 6 last game. Will he get on the back of Rohit Sharma's intent?
He's played 27 balls against Zampa so far. He's made 54 of those strikes at 200 against Zampa with 1 out.
It's a run down easy.
At the moment, a single's a very good shot because you don't have to pay to watch Rohit Sharma if you're the non-strikers in.
Yeah, absolutely. It's so important that you try and get Rohit Sharma off strike. You want to bowl as many balls as you can to the new player. Try and upset his rhythm. Keep him at the non-strikers end as long as you can.
What does he do next? Doesn't quite hit it as well as some of the other shots he's hit, but he'll get a single nonetheless.
This shows what a massive difference. If you get close to the ball, whereas if the ball is slightly further out from you, extending your arm, sometimes you lose control. That's what they want Rohit Sharma to do. Try and keep it outside his hitting arm.
Finds a gap on the offside. It's a bit of a chase. It's too far away. 100 comes up for India in very, very quick time, in uncomfortably quick time for Australia. 100 for 2 in just 8.4 overs.
Suryakumar Yadav generally likes to hit over covers, but this one wide outside the off stump. And it tells you why he is such a good player. Just opening the face of the bat, understanding where the gap is. Mind you, there was David Warner fielding a sweeper cover, so you need to get the gap perfectly. That's what Suryakumar Yadav has done.
The only one who's doing things quicker than Rohit Sharma is our statsman, Rajneesh. There's been a virtual barrage of information. This is now the fastest team 100 in a T20 World Cup game. It's a very, very good shot.
It is. You can see from that side-on view just how late he hits the ball. Understanding where the fielder is out in the deep, David Warner, and if he can't catch it, no one can.
Now, what your old friend has done is stay fit, Finchy. Now, through the onside, as he found the gap. No, there's enough support in the deep now. Still a pretty good over that for India. Eventually 9 off it. It's 102 for 2. Too far from St. Lucia. It's a volcano. It's the adjacent island, Martinique. There was a volcano turn in the last century, early 20th century. It's not a live volcano down the ground, but don't worry about that. The water's beautiful.
Current volcano is in St. Lucia cricket ground, Harsha. Rohit Sharma is in full flow.
79 of 32. Here's Marcus Stoinis. Just over, it's his day. Tall man fielding inside the boundary, inside the 30-yard circle mid-stark, and it just cleared him for 4.
It was a well-directed short ball from Marcus Stoinis, and Rohit Sharma's looking to go up and over, backward square. It's on him quick, hits high on the bat, and it just gets over Mitchell Stark. Goes with the outstretched hand. It's a fine margins in this game. When it's going your way, you have to make the most of it. Rohit Sharma's definitely doing that today.
Anyone could bat like a Formula 1 driver, it's him. It's a good ball. It's a good ball. Marcus Stoinis has got a good one back.
Previous over, we saw how Suryakumar used the gap there of Adam Zampa. Just watch his shoulder position here. That's what makes the shot. The left shoulder, the way it just uncoils and coils, and that makes the shot so hard. A lot of people will use the flat bat to hit it, but he's almost played it with the straight bat. That's what makes him so special, and the control he has, hence, you speak to a batting coach, and they always speak about the shoulder going towards the line of the ball, and that's exactly what he did.
Also, by playing late, he was able to beat the fielder on the boundary to his left. Well, that's one way of keeping the batter quiet, except you've got to ball it again.
You can just see with Rohit Sharma's initial movement, he is ready for the big one.
Have a look at Rohit Sharma's boundaries today. Have a look at those pink dots. A lot of them are coming in the slot. If Australia have missed, it's just been on the fuller side. 514 is an extraordinary strike rate when Australia have missed in that location. But look at that there. nothing hitting the stumps. There's nothing challenging him on the front foot.
Goes through with the pull shot and one bounce inside. It looked for a while. It might clear the boundary too. Just might have held up in the wind. But he's gone on to 87. Just 35 balls. This is some rollicking start by India.
We heard Aaron Finn speak about why they've tried to go full, because they know how strong Rohit is probably of the short ball, and that's what Stoinis tries, just to change it up. But Rohit Sharma up to the task. If you're playing a bowler who's just bowling around 130, you're looking for the full ball here. Rohit Sharma ready for that, but just swiveling on his pull shot, finding gaps with ease. Great point that you make, Finchy, about how they've just erred a little bit on the fuller side. But do you think that's because they're worried bowling shorter would mean bowling to his strength?
Yeah, absolutely. Anything that's half short, he's so quick to get into the pull shot. So his ability to then play the Australians on what they're looking to do, margins for error against good players in good nick is so small. But I feel on a surface like this that we've seen a little bit of extra bounce at times. You can afford to be just a touch shorter. The inconsistency of bounce at times just allows you to miss on the shorter side as opposed to the full. There's nothing that's going to challenge when it's just right under your eyes and you can step and hit it.
It was an 87. Indians don't mind that number. 111, they don't mind that one either. Now it's Surya Kumar Yadav. Good cricket. Watch.
And also the one thing that I would like Australia to think about, and it's a bit risky, but I think it's worth taking the gamble at this stage, is to bring Glenn Maxwell on and tempt both right-handers to hit into the wind. And I'm sure Rohit Sharma will still back himself to do it, but that gives you the opportunity of a wicket here.
Yeah, and that would have to be from the end that Marcus Stoinis is currently bowling. Make them try and drag it to the leg side, because you know that if you slightly mishit it, you're out, especially hitting into that breeze. You saw the dismissal of Virat Kohli, the ball held up in the air, which allowed Tim David the opportunity, enough time to get underneath.
Take a single. 12 came off that over. It's only 10 overs gone, by the way. It's 114 for 2. And it's time for a drink. I think Australia needed a little bit more at the moment.
Drinks in St. Lucia, time to relive another magic moment.
Steps away, edged and gone. Down the pitch and gone, first ball. That's close, LBW shout and given! Hat-trick for the lead.
Brett Lee becoming the first man to take a T20 international hat-trick back in 2007. Bangladesh reduced to 123 for 8 in 20 overs. And then the Hayden and Gilchrist show. Ricky Ponting had the best seat in the house. Australia winning by 9 wickets. Already 3 hat-tricks in this year's World Cup. Two from Pat Cummins, one from Chris Jordan from England. Right now, it's the Rohit Sharma show. 72 of his runs have come off boundaries. Been smiling all the way. Certainly an effort that everyone around this ground will appreciate. He's teed off in style, and all the work for Australia to do. We'll start calling him Hat-trick Cummins soon.
They could actually do with another hat-trick right now, Australia. 2 for 114, India off 10 overs, absolutely flying. It's been a masterclass from the captain, Rohit Sharma. 76 of his runs, in fact, now coming from boundaries. Particularly harsh on Mitchell Starc early on, took 29 runs off Mitchell Starc's second over. His ball striking's been outstanding. The Australians have got full, they've tried that full length. He's been sitting there waiting for it. And that's the biggest one of the day so far. Slog sweep from Zampa over mid-wicket. Look to put all sorts of pressure back on this Australian bowling brigade.
And he's used his feet brilliantly as well.
Easing that into the covers. They think about 2 and they get it for the slight misfield.
We talked pre-game to McCass about Australia's sloppiness in the field. There's another little illustration of it there. He's as good as anyone normally, David Warner. Put down a simple catch again against Afghanistan, and this is looking to just cut this to 1. Slightly overruns it, and they come back for an easy 2. Moves on to 91 now. Rohit Sharma. Pat Cummins making a few changes to his field. He's straightening up the guy at deep mid-wicket.
Like the ease with which he's batting out there, Ricky. It's a good surface, same track that South Africa and England played on, but certainly looks to be playing better.
Yeah, that one looked a little bit slow, didn't it? I think 163 was a winning score. That was enough in that game. South Africa obviously batting first. England couldn't chase them down. But they're staring at a big score here, India. 10 runs and over from now, get them to 214. 8 runs and over gets them to 194. Surya hasn't really had to do anything just yet. He's just giving the strike as much as he can to Rohit Sharma. Shivam Dubey, Hardik Pandya, lots of batting still to come for the Indians.
Yes, he did get hit for a 6, but Pat Cummins has been the most successful bowler so far. And he's bowling the lengths and the lines that the other bowlers should be looking to bowl as well. As a start in particular.
Running it into the pitch, and we saw that with the South Africa-England game, taking pace off. Just confirming what Ricky's talking about. Into the 200s. That's what India are looking at. And it's that power start that Sharma gave them in the power play, despite the loss of Kohli early on. First 50 and came in 4.5 overs, the second 50 in just 4 overs, and it's been all Rohit Sharma striking at over 240. From where he picked that up to get the boundary, only Surya Kumar Yadav can do that.
Sonny's just shaking his head. Like,
only he seems to be able to move himself around in the crease.
It's about 4th or 5th stump. It's like he read it early. He's backing across nice and early, makes another movement outside his off stump, and it's the wrist work. That bottom hand comes in. He knows where the gap is. Come Cummins had moved that man at deep square a little bit straight into deep mid-wicket, presents a big gap back with a square, and somehow he found it.
It's an incredible follow-up. He's just extended the arms and it goes all the way.
127 for 2. The previous one was the slower cutter. This one he anticipated would be up there, and it was. And that lofted off drive comes into play. So what started off as a pretty quiet over turned out to be an expensive over in the end.
"13 runs are off that 11th over, 9 to go. Surya Kumar Yadav getting into the mix. 34 from 19 is the partnership. And all eyes on Rohit Sharma on 92. 39 deliveries. Just out for 34 in 2. An absolute hammering in that third over. 29 runs. What's his comeback now?
Just looking at the field, Cass, looks like he's going to have to bowl full and wide outside off stump. He's got a deep point, a deep backward point, long offs back. Well, that's a nice delivery. That's a good length. Around the wicket, angling the ball back into Rohit Sharma. This is all about the length. What about this shot? The shot he's had to work a lot on. His teams do bowl there a lot to him now. They try to take the deep square leg, fine leg sort of area out of play. So full and wide used to be a place you could bowl. He's worked on that. He's lofted that beautifully over mid-off.
Rohit Sharma, and the crowd goes quiet. He's been dominating, but Stark has the last word.
And that's a very good delivery. Angling in from around the wicket, almost a Yorker. He was looking to play it to the onside, was he? Yes, you can see that, almost a Yorker. Yeah. Oh, bit of an inside edge onto the pads and then onto the stumps. Well, a fabulous innings coming to an end here. Maybe a bit of ill luck there. 92 to him in a total of 127 for 3 in 12 overs.
Relief for Australia, that's all you can say, because Rohit Sharma was absolutely dominating. Shivam Dube comes in now to join Surya Kumar Yadav. 127 for 3. Both these two have the opportunity now to build a solid partnership and get India to keep up this momentum. But from an Australian perspective, their star bowler, Stark, striking at the right time. That's really well played. He just guided it, didn't he? And over the boundary for 4.
In a way, he would have anticipated.
Before the ball had beaten him to it. 131 for 3.
Yeah, I don't know. The Mitchell Stark was very happy with that effort from Travis Head. He had a lot of ground to make up. I think he reacted a little late as well, Travis. That ball flew off Shivam Dube's bat. This middle order, a lot of Mumbai talent. Shivam Dube, another one.
Well, here comes Stark again, sprinting in towards us. Dubé gets a full delivery onto the pads. Half an appeal for LBW, but really it was only Matthew Wade that was interested. Stark turns and mops his hair away from his brow. So we'll see a replay of that. Sharma dismissal. Actually, it was a bang, 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 if you like. It was inside edge, onto the pads, onto the stumps.
Yep, but he's given this Indian team exactly the platform they need. Shivam Dubé in and Hardik Pandya, who's been in good form, be the one walking out next.
Stark runs in, bowls, and just up on his toes and easing the ball towards mid-wicket as Dubé is wearing his India shirt untucked, which is rather unusual.
I'm sure Sunil Gavaskar in the box next to us will not be very chuffed with that.
Do you think?
Oh, he's a big believer in tuck your shirt in and look like a cricketer.
Yeah, well, it's a different age now, isn't it?
It is. Well, old school.
We've yet to have 100 in this World Cup. 3 scores in the 90s, by the way. 2 of them at this ground. Mitchell Stark runs in, bowls a ball which is driven firmly towards Mitch Marsh, who does very well at cover to stop it. And the over comes to an end with just 4 from it. So that's more like it from Stark. And Australia, 131 for 3. They'll feel if they can limit it to under 200, they've got a chance.
They have a chance to at least win this game. And no surprises that they turn to Adam Zampa again. He's got 2 overs left. Mitchell Stark has done his job. He's got rid of Rohit Sharma. Can Zampa do some more damage and drag them back? Just checking in at the airport yesterday, Henry, in St. Lucia, there were at least 500 people waiting outside the immigration room for their own all-arrival visas. Indian expats from all around the world with their Indian passports.
Adam Zampa into a third over, bowling a ball to the right-handed Surya Kumar. He punches down the ground for a single to Mitchell Stark. 132 for 3.
And I don't consider myself any sort of celebrity, but I did enjoy being a celebrity yesterday, Henry, because I was taken into the room where they stamped the visas, and I got my visa in 10 minutes,
Very good.
And I avoided the 5-6 hour wait, so I enjoyed being a celebrity for a change yesterday.
You're a celebrity in my mind all the time, Barrett.
I celebrate life.
Well,
different kind of celebrity.
Yeah, well, that's it. A better kind.
Yeah.
In the sunglasses, with the mullet, Adam Zampa. Ready to go once again. 88 on his back in yellow letters, and he moves in past the umpire. It's a full delivery. He thought about winding up to Dubé, doesn't in the end, and will ease a single down the ground. I think what India don't want to do here is take their foot off the gas, because they're in such a strong position. They've got batting to come as well. To nudge and nurdle their way to 190 from here, or 180 even, I think would be a missed opportunity, not least psychologically. Zampa once more to Surya Kumar on 18. Gets a shorter ball and a little flick of the wrist. A helicopter shot out towards Maxwell in front of some Bharat Army flags. To our right, 134 for 3.
Yeah, my army's on song tonight, or today, Henry. It's good to know, the Bharat Army. And this is Shivam Dubé's role, though. He hits spinners for a lot of sixes. In the IPL, often teams would keep spinners away from Dubé. So it's an interesting move from Australia.
Moving in is Zampa again, just back of a length and tapped into the onside, and just felt a little slowing down since that Rohit Sharma wicket. 2 balls left of the 13th over. 134 for 3.
Yeah, he's going to come at him. He has to. It's his role.
Zampa bowling. Oh, that's not slowing down. That's gone a long way. Sailing away into the leg side and out of the ground. It drops into the hands of a very happy spectator who's getting mobbed down there amongst the India supporters. That was a good catch in the crowd, I tell you what. It went sailing away in the air into the leg side against the breeze as well. And have a look at this. Running round.
Oh, beautifully done.
Safe hands. Well done, that man.
Yeah, he should have been out there for the West Indies last evening, but I told you he was going to come at Adam Zampa. That's the reputation he's built, Shivam Dubé. He has some mighty sixes. He's always had that from the time he was playing junior cricket in Mumbai. He was the serial 6-hitter.
140 for 3. Final ball of the 13th over. Is a little short again, and Zampa, as he zipped it in. You'll see him concede 2 runs at the end of the over. Throw from Warner. Can't prevent that second, and the over that looked like it was doing a pretty good job at reining things in the end concedes 11. 142 for 3 from 13 overs here in St. Lucia. Let's have another look at that. It's gone high in the air. It's gone quickly off the bat. And running round, gentleman in the bucket hat, he sprints round and he takes a sensational catch in the crowd. And also, because you can't forget that there's people around, there's noise, you're not on a flat surface as well out there.
It's not like you're a lone fielder on the deep mid-wicket fence. He had at least 50 Indians who weren't attempting to take the catch, to be fair. And he was the only one. He called mine. Maybe he called mine, Henry.
He might have done.
Yeah. So they let him get to it and completed a great catch. But another expensive over from Adam Zampa. 3 overs, 36 runs. You look back at Australia in the last few years. Every time they've struggled in white ball cricket, Adam Zampa's had an off day on the field.
So 13 overs gone. 142 for 3 is the score. All right. He's going to have a little break, and Stephen Finn is going to replace him as we see a new over beginning from the medium pace of Stoinis, whipped out towards mid-wicket and galloping round is David Warner to pick up. 1-4-3 for 3. Finney, it has been brutal.
Yes, that's one way to describe it, isn't it? It's been calculated and brutal in the same sentence. They've been really selective about who and what they've gone after, but when they have gone after it today, India in particular, their captain Rohit Sharma, it's meant that it's been a savage outcome for the Australians.
143 for 3. Early on in the 14th over, Stoinis in the sunshine. We've got Mitchell Starc coming a little bit finer down below us. A deep third, deep backward point. And 3 fielders on the boundary on the leg side. He's hit down the ground. There's no protection there at long off. Standing and delivering is Dubé. He's in the mood now. That's a lovely shot. Moves to 17, 147 for 3.
A lovely conventional shot by Dubé there. Just stands, offered a little bit of width by Stoinis. There's a big gap at a wide mid-off through to the stumps. He manages to pierce that and it flies away for 4. It looks so dismissive, just doesn't even bother running.
147 for 3. Here comes Stoinis. Dubé is waiting, tucked up for room. Will get a single out towards mid-wicket. Looping in from the boundary is Pat Cummins. 148 for 3. Midway through the 14th over. Rohit Sharma's innings, a stunning one. 92 from 41 balls. If you want to see the best of that action, the BBC Sport website and app is the place to do so. Let us know what you've made of the game so far. TMS at bbc.co.uk. 148 for 3. Here comes Stoinis. Running into bowl. It's been lofted down the ground again over that fielder at mid-on. And there's 6 more. Surya Kumar, easy as you like. And I'm not convinced this field is quite right, Finney. 154 for 3.
No, it looks as though they're trying to hide the ball either very full and very straight. There's a deep mid-wicket, deep backward square leg and a fine leg. Or bowl it very full and very wide. There's a long off and a deep point. But there, Marcus Stoinis offering length on middle stump, which means that Surya Kumar can just stand there, throw his hands through it. This surface is excellent today, much better than what we saw between England and South Africa just a few days ago. And carries it all the way for 6 over long on.
154 for 3. 2 balls left of the 14th over. It's been flicked down towards fine leg. There's a little chase for Mitchell Starc, who with those long legs will get there quickly and easily. 155 for 3. 1 ball left of the 14th over.
There's been no hiding places there for anyone today, really. Josh Hazlewood's figures look remarkable. 1 for 10 from 3 overs. Outside of that, everyone's travelling at well over 10 and over.
As a bowler in this situation, you try to avoid the stare of the captain, or you know you've got your overs to bowl at some point.
You're going to have to bowl it at some point, yeah. I mean, you want to be the person who breaks the partnership.
Moving in is Stoinis. This is hit back towards him on the bounce, and a dot ball to finish an over that yields 13, and Stoinis just shapes to throw down the stumps at the striker's end. That gets the crowd up and about. I should say, by the way, More international cricket this week because England's women in action with the first of their one-day internationals against New Zealand. Coverage on 5 Sports Extra and BBC Sounds from 12:45. Plus there'll be highlights on the BBC iPlayer. Every ball of every game. In domestic cricket with the county championship continuing. That's available for you to enjoy as well. Everywhere you look in this busy summer of sport, we've got you covered here on BBC Radio for the cricket. And indeed the Euros, which are continuing, the Olympics to come, Wimbledon. So much to enjoy. Here in St Lucia, Adam Zampa's gone off the field with Australia under the pump. It's 155 for 3, and we're going to see Mitchell Starc bowling his final over. He's bowled 2 overs from this end, the media centre end, 1 over from the pavilion end so far, 1 for 38, but his last over only conceded 4 runs and he got the wicket of Rohit Sharma. Surya Kumar is on strike, waiting as Starc round the wicket bowls to him, and it's slashed away for 4 between the fielder at short third and backward point, and he just manages to angle the ball in places that you don't think it can surely be possible. Surya Kumar, he's such a clever batter. 159 for 3.
He is. It's an off cutter from Starc as well, just offers a slight bit of width to Surya Kumar, who is able to just wait for it and wait that extra split second to make sure that he just taps it on the head with the middle of his bat and pierces that gap between backward point and short third and gets 4 off the first delivery.
Here comes Mitchell Starc again, kicking up his heels, running in past the umpire, and Surya Kumar jams down on a ball which then she goes through to the gloves of Matthew Wade, who applauds the fast bowler. And you need everyone in this sort of circumstance when the team's up against it. You need encouragement from all. I think Mitchell Marsh is quite a good character to have out there. He's level-headed, he's quite a jovial figure, but he's a serious competitor. What you don't want is panic.
No, although there's still 5.4 overs to go. India on 159 for 3.
So what you're saying is panic?
Yes.
Here comes Mitchell Starc, bowling to Surya Kumar, who's edging and gone. Reaching for a ball that might well have been signalled wide. And he'll be really frustrated there because he didn't need to play the shot. And it just loops so gently to Matthew Wade to give Australia another wicket. 159 for 4. And that will very much help proceedings as a gentleman in a suit made up of the Australian flag waves an even bigger version of it. And it's that cutter again that does the business.
Yeah, it's actually surprising that Mitchell Starc didn't go to anything like this against Rohit Sharma in those first, or in that second over as his, the third over of this innings. Just kept bowling full and quick, and Sharma was good enough to whack it out the ground. But they're taking the pace off the delivery and bowling it really wide to Surya Kumar, meaning that he has to try and generate the pace on the delivery. He did it earlier in the over, but the length was shorter and it was a touch straighter. If you can get that ball pace off out towards the wide line, it can be very tricky for batters who want pace on the ball to generate anything from it, and that's exactly what's happened there. And by bringing Mitchell Starc back here, Mitchell Marsh is saying, I need to take wickets. Wickets are the only way that I'm going to slow this scoring rate down, and Mitchell Starc has another.
Hardik Pandya gets a big cheer as he comes out to the middle to join the action. He scored 50 unbeaten against Bangladesh, and he's a sort of player perfect for this situation because he hits a very long ball. He's a very dangerous player. He walks in sort of slightly menacing fashion, sort of slightly hunched shoulders and with a bit of a swagger. Waits now the right hander, tool 9 for 4. Mid-off is up inside the circle. It's driven through the offside and beats, or half beats the dive of backward point for an easy single to get Hardik up and running. 160 for 4. 2 balls left of the 15th over. What will Australia feel is chaseable, do you think?
Well, they're going to have to think that anything's chaseable, because if they don't, they're out the tournament, aren't they? Pretty much.
No, not quite. And it isn't quite.
Depends if Bangladesh beat Afghanistan.
Yeah, there is. So the table looks like this. It is slightly complicated. And we have actually got a bit. No, don't be, because we need to keep on explaining this. And there is a video on the TMS Twitter account, X account. Tries at least to explain how it all works. I'll tell you more after this ball. 160 for 4. Dubé waiting on 18. Full delivery. That's well bowled by Starc, and Hardik will have to just accelerate a little bit to run through for that single. 161 for 4. So at the moment, India top of the pile on 4 points. Australia a second on 2 points, but they've got a significantly superior net run rate to Afghanistan. If Australia were to be really heavily beaten in this game, which looks plausible at this point, that could see the net run rates come pretty close together between Australia and Afghanistan. And if by any chance Australia was so heavily beaten, it could mean Afghanistan's net run rate would be ahead of them by the end of this game. Here comes Mitchell Starc to conclude the over, pushed through the offside by Hardik Pandya. He'll get a single to keep the strike. And it is 1-6-2 for 4. 15 overs gone, 7 coming from the over. Stark's bowled out, 2 for 45. So what the advantage for Afghanistan is they will know exactly what they need to do come the end of this game. So they will still be alive in this regardless of what happens in this match. If Australia win narrowly, then their net run rate situation will see, well, their point situation will see them level with India. And then the net run rate equation for Afghanistan will just be how quickly they have to beat Bangladesh tonight to overtake Australia. If Australia lose this game, Afghanistan just have to win. And so that is how this works. But Australia could find themselves in a situation where they lose this game and then Afghanistan are beaten by Bangladesh and they somehow are absolutely hammered to get through to the semi-final. It's sort of complicated, but that's how it's looking. Right then, here comes Jeff Lemon to take us through to the end of the innings.
Yeah, and Josh Hazlewood has the ball in his hand. He's coming to finish his allocation. He's the one person who has survived any punishment today, has 1 for 10 from 3 overs.
Remarkable in the circumstances. He's coming up to bowl now, and a little back cut here goes nowhere. Travis Head has a throw at, I don't know if it was the striker's end or the non-striker's end, because it goes pretty much diametrically between both sets of stumps to mid-wicket. So whatever he was trying, it didn't work. Hardik Pandya doesn't get a run though. So this feels like quite a gamble using Hazlewood now. 16th over. Doesn't leave Mitchell Marsh with a lot of options after this. He's got a couple to come from Cummins. Hazlewood up to Pandya, who's missing as he slogs across the line. Another dot ball. Australia just dragging this back a bit. What looked like it might be 250 is now looking more like they could keep it to 200, 210, something like that, if they're able to bowl really well. One more wicket here and they're down to Jadeja, Akshar Patel. So they're calming things down, but I'm interested in your thoughts, Stephen Finn, on the bowling to come, because Zampa has been clobbered. He's gone for 36. He's got 1 over left. Stoinis has been clobbered even worse. He's gone for 42 and he's got 1 over left. Cummins has 2 more to come. 4 overs after this as Hardik tries to squeeze out a wide ball and only gets a little bit of toe on it towards backward point. Travis Head in again. They get a single, 163 for 4. Hardik up to 3.
Yeah, Zampa has to bowl the next one. This end that we are at the commentary box, then it'll be Cummins, Stoinis, Cummins, I'd have thought, to finish the innings. I think what Mitchell Marsh is thinking here is just wickets. If I can get wickets, I'll bring Hazlewood and Stark back, try and get my wickets now, and then hope the other guys can defend against the lower order, albeit quite capable lower order in Jadeja and Axar.
The risk, though, is Dubé and Adam Zampa. I think that absolutely massive launch he hit out of the ground before. Hazlewood bowls to Dubé, who's only getting a single as he's squared up. The ball ends up rolling slowly towards point. 64 for 4. So you've got the leg spinner turning it back into the left-hander, and we saw him launch it. Is it worth trying to get an over from Glenn Maxwell instead?
The problem is the next 2 are lefties as well, aren't they? As in, you think Maxwell instead of Zampa?
Instead of Zampa, or at least to give you some flexibility.
Yeah, I mean, it's a tough ask to come in the 17th over when Khan had just been ensuing around you for your first over of the innings. I mean, it could be done. Glenn Maxwell, I'm sure, would relish that opportunity.
He bowls in the power play a fair bit,
yeah,
especially in 50 over stuff.
I'd be surprised if it's not Zampa.
Hazlewood up to Hardik, who whips out a full ball in at his toes. He's able to get it to deep mid-wicket along the carpet for 1 run. This has been another outstanding over from Hazlewood so far. Dot, single, single, single. He's got 1 ball to come in his spell, and he's gone for 1 for 13 in a team that's going at 10.5 and over.
Yeah, there's only 1 boundary in that entire analysis, and that was a good pull over mid-wicket by Rishabh Pant in the power play. So whilst 2 fielders are only allowed outside the circle, it's been quite remarkable from Josh Hazlewood. He's just making sure his field is exactly set as he wants to before he finishes his allotment.
One ball to finish that off, and Dubé's opening the face, guiding it to short third, and Mitchell Marsh decides not to ping at the stumps as they were sharp in coming through for a single. Took on the field a little, 166 for 4, 16 overs gone. Australia have pulled that run rate back from sort of 12-13 at one point to 10.3, which is still a very steep task, but 4 overs to come. What happens? It will be Zampa. It will be Zampa. I wonder about this. This could be match defining. He'll have Dubé on strike, the left-handed to the leg spinner. And Dubé has one job here, which is maul the spin. That's why he's in this side. So you know he'll go for it. Challenge for Zampa. What can he do to someone who's such a good striker of slow bowling? He's got 3 out in the deep on the leg side, 2 on the offside. Long on, deep mid-wicket, deep backward square leg with a short fine. Nobody in the circle, and Dubé tries to belt it over the leg side but gets it along the ground out to deep mid-wicket and gets off strike, and that's the ideal situation really for Adam Zampa. Although, at 167 for 4, Hardik Pandya also a very good hitter of spin.
Yes, but a much more challenging proposition hitting that against the spin towards the leg side. Boundaries aren't huge and the wind is pumping that way, so he will be aided if he does try and slog it up over the leg side. My guess would be that Pandya might just try and knock this for 1 to give Dubé the last 4 balls.
Deep point, long off for Pandya. 3 out on the leg, very wide of the off stump. Edged up off the top edge, he's dropped it backward point. He's been put down unbelievably. How was that fumbled? Australia have let one slip, and that could be incredibly damaging. It just looped. It was soft. It was gentle. It went away to backward point, and it seemed to hang in the air for such a long period of time. There was a little bit of miscommunication between Hazlewood and Marsh, and the Australian captain has about 4 or 5 bites at it and somehow manages to put it down. It's 168 for 4, and Zampa's bowling to Dubé, who's chopping it hard into the ground to backward point, and again it's fumbled. They are able to come through. I don't know if they turned down the run. Decided not to take the run on that occasion, with Dubé hitting it up in the air and it just landing short this time of Marsh coming in. Eventful over. Zampa tries to drive it through and Dubé hits across the line and cluffs it. Just sends it bobbling out to deep mid-wicket where Maxwell fields, and they'll only get 1 run. So Zampa has had the catch dropped, but the over has worked for him so far in terms of economy. 3 singles and a dot ball. What a moment.
It looked like it just swirled in the wind for Mitchell Marsh there and got confused about what way round he wanted his hands to be when he caught it.
Zampa up and bowling in at the leg stump of Hardik Pandya, who takes a single out to deep square leg. We'll give Dubé one more look at Adam Zampa today. 170 for 4. And Marsh went at the catch with the fingers pointing up, then it bobbled out of there. It actually rolled off his face, off his cheek. Then he tried to get it on the way down with his fingers pointing down. It squirmed out the end of his fingers again, popped up again. He went back in for another go and somehow managed to let it slip. One of the most routine catches you could imagine. Zampa to Dubé, who hits him hard across the line, a deep backward square leg on the bounce. Warner coming in does the fielding, and Adam Zampa, drop catch aside, does outstandingly. 1-1-0-1-1-1. 5 singles from the over. 171 for 4 after 17, and Zampa rather gets out of things after going for 36 from his first 3. He's none for 41 off 4. 10 and over has been the order of the day. He's got India's innings run rate down to just above 10. So 3 overs to come. Which way does it swing from here? Cummins will bowl the first of them. He's got 2 up his sleeve. He wasn't spared earlier today either. Went for 28 off his first 2 with Rohit Sharma smacking his first ball for 6.
Yeah, it played him like a spinner. There was an off-cutter from Cummins, his first delivery into the fray before the rain came down actually earlier. Got slog swept over deep mid-wicket. You won't have seen that ball that many times. throughout his career. He's got an opportunity to make amends here, though. 171 for 4 from 17.
Just getting the feeling that it's not as easy to time the ball as Rohit Sharma made it look. Nobody else is.
No, it's definitely a better surface than we saw the other day between South Africa and England.
Cummins round the wicket to Dubé, who's digging out a full ball, driving it to wide long off. He'll get a couple of runs here. They've got long off back, and he didn't hit it well enough to scorch it to the rope. 173 for 4. We did see in that game that Quinton de Kock made the batting look easy opening it for South Africa, and then everybody else struggled thereafter until Harry Brook took a long enough time to get himself in. So I do wonder if that's the case today as well.
Yadav got 31. Suryakumar got 31 from 16, didn't he?
He'll do that anyway. Yeah. He's just next level. Low full toss from Cummins, slammed down the ground, not with much timing, and they'll only get a single. Another win for Australia with the ball. Delivery by delivery. They're just trying to peg India back, keep this to something that they can hope to chase, or worst case, hope to get close to, so they don't get a hiding on net run rate. They have to be thinking they can win this game. It's the only way to approach it. 174 for 4. Dubé on 27, Hardik on 6. And Hardik Pandya on strike. Watching Cummins. Front foot open, and he opens it even wider and drives it down to long on along the ground for another single. Another little win for Australia. Ball by ball after that first period was dominated by Rohit Sharma. 175 for 4. Hardik Pandya on 7. Dubé with the strike back. 27 from 20 so far. He finishes this inning strong. Huge advantage for India. Cummins to him, drives it into the pitch. Short ball pulled out to deep mid-wicket. And again, only a single. 176 for 4. Dubé to 28.
He's just making sure he's not predictable here, Pat Cummins. A couple of Yorkers, driving the ball into the surface, trying to use any bit of variability there may be. Just trying to make sure that these Indian batters can't stand there and just swing through one line and length the entire time. It's been a good over so far.
2 balls to come. Things can change quickly. Cummins, right arm over to the right-handed Pandya. Slower ball bouncer, forehands it over cover. He's got a decent piece of it. It skips onto the rope. That is an excellent shot from Pandya, who picked the pace of the ball, had the patience to wait for it, and then has the skill. Even though it was a high bouncer, it was just over shoulder height and outside his off stump. And he had to lean away to leg and find a way to get underneath that and get enough power on it to swat it over cover. 180 for 4. Cummins. Finish off the over. Full lash down to long off for 1. The over goes for 10, and that is the rate that India have been going at throughout. 181 for 4 after 18 overs.
Yeah, he's had a bit of a bum deal, Pat Cummins. He's had the ball in the power play, and now he's got 2 at the death. He's one of Australia's best ever bowlers, but even when you are that, you're not spared the punishment in a situation like this, and it's been remarkable hitting, especially from Rohit Sharma. That 92 was something quite magnificent. 8 sixes in amongst that innings. The ability that India have with their all-rounders down the lower order as well, with Pandya, Jadeja and Axar Patel still to come. They still have the power to be able to make sure that their batters can take advantage of the good start all the way through the innings. And now Marcus Stoinis is going to be bowling here, a mixture of slower balls, maybe Yorkers, but India will be looking to line him up.
Hardik Pandya on 12. Waiting for Stoinis, right arm over, wide of the off stump, crashed away over cover for 6. I did wonder about going back to Stoinis. He's been battered today, and there is something that seems very unimaginative when you're getting smashed around if you have 5 bowlers who each bowl their 4 overs. Do wonder why there wasn't some thought of changing things up, bringing on a Maxwell, even Tim David, somebody to do something different. Remembering that Glenn Maxwell got Rohit Sharma out in that World Cup final, it might have been something to make him rethink his approach slightly when he was going all guns blazing. 187 for 4. Stoinis to Hardik, who clears the front leg, slams him down the ground for 6. 193 for 4. Hardik up to 24. He's doubled his score in 2 balls.
Yep, he's in the mood here, Hardik. You could see the last over. He was frustrated that he didn't connect with a couple of those fuller balls from Pat Cummins, but slightly slower and the length slightly further back here from Marcus Stoinis, meaning it's just easy for Pandya to stand there, keep his eyes level, swing through the line of the ball. Wicket is better than the other day here, definitely, to be able to play shots like this. Now Stoinis, it's gone 6-6, is under pressure.
Stoinis up now and trying to play the same sort of shot, Hardik, but it's a little fuller and a little straighter, and he can only get a squeezing outside edge to cover and through for a single. 194 for 4. He's up to 25, Hardik. He's almost caught Dubé on 28.
He was screaming at himself there, Hardik Pandya. Frustrated that he missed out. He felt that one was there to hit for 6. Screaming at himself, wants to make an impact in this World Cup.
Stoinis mops his brow. There's a little moisture on the ball, rubs it on his trousers. Trying to compose himself. He's got the left-hander to bowl to now. Stays over the wicket. Bowls in at leg stump. Dubé clips him off his legs to deep mid-wicket. He's caught. Warner takes the catch diving forward. And as happened in one of Stoinis' earlier overs, he gets absolutely clattered and then takes a wicket. David Warner takes the catch and just rolls the ball back underarm to the middle and doesn't move from his position. No coming in to celebrate in the huddle here. Stark is staying out there at long on. Deep backward square is sort of tentatively walking up towards the edge of the circle, but probably won't bother going further than that. And short fine leg stays exactly where he is. The others come in for a little chat and a meet with the drinks waiters, but a 5th wicket has gone down. 194 for 5. Shivam Dubé out for 28.
He never really got going, Dubé. A couple of big shots off Adam Zampa, but outside of that, he's thrashed around furiously. Hasn't managed to score at too much of an extraordinary rate, not like we've seen other people today so far. But again, it's that foundation that India have laid. 194 for 5 now. 8 deliveries left. There's a better line by Stoinis, actually. It was on the heel of Dubé, so all he could do was jam down on the ball and chip it out towards deep mid-wicket. When the ball's outside off stump, like they were to Pandya, you get a free, full swing of the bat, almost like a golf shot out there outside off stump. So that leg stump or the heel line is the one that you want to try and persist with, especially when hitting into that wind.
So another left-hander in Jadeja has come in. Useful late in an innings. Can rifle the ball to the boundary when he's got his eye in. Backs away and has a big swing and misses this one. It goes just past his off stump from Stoinis. Jadeja trying to manufacture some room. 1 ball to come in the 19th. 194 for 5.
Good reply from Stoinis here. Good Yorker dipping under the bat of Jadeja through to the wicket keeper. So he's gone 6-6 and then 1 wicket dot. Can finish the over on a somewhat positive note and try and give Pat Cummins the opportunity to keep it below 200.
Stoinis up to the left-hander, low full toss, driven out to cover. They should only get 1, so Jadeja keeps the strike. Interesting call from India with Hardik Pandya smacking a couple in that over, but 19 overs gone. 195 for 5. India going at just over 10. Australia, if you took them back to where Rohit Sharma was rampaging along, they would have taken this probably.
Yep, and they'll know that it does look like a decent surface. I don't think it's perfect. So the odd person has struggled to time the ball, but it's a lot better than the one that we saw here the other day between South Africa and England. So runs should be easier to come by. They're just going to have the small task of dealing with the best bowler in the world at the moment in Bumrah, who could be effective on the M1, it would feel like. with the skills that he possesses.
Well, yeah, Travis Head and David Warner will have seen plenty of him, especially Warner in the IPL over Bumrah's entire career. So they'll probably feel better qualified than most to deal with him. Cummins will start the last over. Round the wicket to Jadeja, back of a length, pace off outside the off stump, pulled away to deep backward square leg for 1, 196 for 5.
Good outcome for India, that one, I think. Jadeja was frustrated that he's not hit that for 4 or 6, but my preference, if I were Rohit Sharma, the captain, would be to get Pandya on strike and to try and get him to face these 5 deliveries. I think there's more chance that he'll be able to thrash 6s wherever the ball may be.
Jadeja on 2, Hardik Pandya on 25. Cummins back over the wicket. That short third, backward point, deep cover point, cover, long off, long on, deep mid wicket, deep backward square leg coming squarer now, and a short fine leg. Lots of space on the leg side to give up 1 if Pandya goes that way. Pandya will look to go aerial, I suspect. Cummins to him, and he goes aerial. Well, that's the attempt, but he misses it outside the off stump. Huge off drive, no contact, 196 for 5 still.
Yeah, it looks as though that one's just swung away. It was cross seam from Pat Cummins, but remarkably it's actually swung a little bit away from Pandya there. It's swung out of his arc. Had that not swung, it probably would have come right out the screws over extra cover. So maybe the wind just helping Cummins there. It really is pumping across the ground here.
Flags out stiff, east to west, as it has been throughout the last week or so. Well bowled Yorker, dug out helicopter style to long on, along the ground for a single. Cummins, exceptional so far. 2 1s and a dot, 197 for 5 with 3 balls to come. Jadeja back on strike, Pandya on 26.
It's been a rather sedate finish to the innings so far, hasn't it? Still 3 balls to come, but the last 9 or the last 6 deliveries, I think, since those 2 6s off Stoinis' last over there in the 19th, have been quiet.
Cummins to Jadeja, who hits him up in the air, out to deep mid-wicket. It's carried. It's carried. There's the 200. India 203. Jadeja up to 8. And a beautiful piece of timing. A full, straight ball. He was able to just get under it and lift it away over mid-wicket for 6.
Yeah, you had a sense that it wasn't going to be quiet all the way through to the end of the innings. You felt as though the 6 may come off the bat of Hardik Pandya, but hitting with the wind, Jadeja manages to get underneath an attempted Yorker, get it up into the atmosphere, and it carries for 6.
Cummins at him again and digs it into the pitch, in at the thigh pad, pulled away for 1 to deep mid-wicket, 204 for 5. And even if this last ball goes for 6, 210 would be a pretty good comeback from where Australia were when Rohit Sharma was storming along. They were 127 for 3 in the 12th over. Rohit on 92 from 41 balls. At that point, anything could have happened. He might have made 150, looked like. Somehow managed to squeeze a full ball from Stark off the inside edge, back onto his pad, onto his stumps. Cummins to finish the innings to Hardik. Tennis ball bounce, little top edge as he tries to pull. And coming around at short, fine leg, Josh Hazlewood does the fielding and keeps them to 1. 205 for 5. So it was a quieter end with the bat for India, but it is still a formidable total. 206 for Australia to win, when they'll be coming out in about 10 minutes' time. Hardik Pandya finishes up on 27 from 17.